Hey friends, back, and that's Behram with the degrees of comparison, my dear friends. And in this module, you and I are going to see the shortest possible method to change the degrees from positive to comparative to superlative and vice versa. And that method is the bodyguard method. Let's do it. Yes, we'll call it BG, bodyguard method. So here we are. Now, my dear friends, let's have a look at this carefully. Can you see positive, comparative, superlative? Yes, positive degree, no change in the adjective. Comparative, ER, superlative, EST, or comparative more and superlative most. Remember, I explained to you. I've already explained to you when is it going to be ER and more and when EST and most, depending upon the syllables in the pronunciation. Awesome, my friends. Now, look at the bodyguards. There they are. Positive degree, as. Comparative degree, than. Superlative, the. Positive, as. Comparative, than. Superlative, the. Of course, that blank is for the adjective. So, are we ready to move on and see the change? Let's have a look at an example. As tall as, taller than, comparative, superlative, the tallest. Here, as beautiful as, more beautiful than, because beautiful, 3 syllables in the pronunciation. You can't say beautifuler. More beautiful than, and the most beautiful. Don't forget the word THE, the. My dear friends, I want you all to know something very, very, very important. This is all that we need to know for our degrees of comparison. How to change from any degree to any degree. We need to know 1, the bodyguards, and 2, the 3 simple things which I'm going to tell you. 1, the best way to identify which degree has been asked to you in the question itself is very simple. For example, Behram is as old as the Mount Everest. Okay, I'm not that old, though I am. The best way to identify as, which means it is positive. Now suppose you're asked to make it comparative or superlative, we shall go on. But the best way to identify the degree is, as I said, identify with the help of its bodyguard. 2, whenever you change the degree, the bodyguard also changes. Just remember that. That means if you change from positive to comparative, the as has to go and the than has to come. Superlative, the than has to go and the has to come. Awesome. And 3, remember, you should never ever change the meaning of the sentence when you're changing the degree. So, 3 important points, and here we are starting with the bodyguard method. There we are, positive, as, comparative, more than or ER than, superlative, the most or the EST. Now, my dear friends, let's take an example. Oof, Behram is the oldest teacher. Can you see? This is the superlative degree. Sir, why? Identify the degree with 1, EST, 2, the bodyguard. The. Easy? Okay, my dear friends. Now, let's change to the comparative. Behram is the oldest teacher. In the comparative becomes, Behram is older than any other teacher. Because Behram is the oldest teacher means Behram is the one who is the oldest, the most aged. He is older than any other teacher. I want you to see this. Is this comparative? Yes. How do you know? Of course, ER is there, and of course you can easily see the bodyguard than. We have changed the bodyguard from the superlative to the comparative. Let's go one step further. Positive. No other teacher is as old as Behram. Is this positive? Of course. Why? The adjective old, there is no change. And the bodyguards, identify the degree with the bodyguards as. My dear friends, we are looking at something which is amazing. If in the superlative you only have the, that is here, the, then in the comparative, you will always have any other or all other after the word than. You can see that. And the same sentence in the positive start with no other or none. And of course, you have to change as. This is my combo number 1. My bodyguard combo number 1. Very simple. Positive starting with no other or none. And as, it becomes in the comparative than plus any other or all other, and in the superlative it is only going to have the. This is my combo number 1. Done. Let's look at combo number 2. Let's take another sentence. Behram is one of the oldest teachers. Is this superlative? Yes, it is. Why? EST. Now, if I ask you, what is the difference between this superlative and the other one that we had seen, Behram is the oldest teacher? The difference is the words one of, right? Now you can see that here, one of the. Whenever there is only the, comparative is than plus any other and all other. But whenever there is one of the, my comparative will be than plus many other or most other. So Behram is older than many other teachers. Is this comparative? Yes, it is. ER. And the bodyguard than is also there. And many other or most other. The same thing in the positive will not start with no other or none. It will start with very few. Very few teachers are as old as Behram. My dear friends, simple. In the superlative, one of the, then your comparative is not than plus any other or all other. Your comparative is than plus many other or most other. And your positive will not begin with no other or none. Your positive begins with very few or not many. This, my dear friends, is combo number 2. Combo number 1, no other none in the positive, than plus any other all other comparative, and the in the superlative. Combo number 2, very few in the start of the positive, than plus many other most other in the comparative, and one of the in the superlative. And there is only one more combo left, my dear friends, and that's combo number 3. Absolutely. And this is combo number 3 for you. My dear friends, Behram is older than Deepa. Oh, is this comparative? Yes, it is. How do I know? ER. So let's look at comparative. After that, do I have any other or all other? No. Do I have many other or most other? Not at all. Which means this cannot be combo number 1 or combo number 2. This is a different combo. And that's combo number 3. Than is not followed by any other, all other, many other, most other. In such a case, my dear friends, I cannot make it superlative. Superlative becomes impossible. Whenever in the comparative, if after than, you don't have any other, all other, many other, most other. Or in the positive, you don't start with no other, none, nothing, very few, or not many. In such a case, you only have 2 degrees, positive and comparative. Superlative becomes impossible. Absolutely impossible. And in such cases, there is only one formula, and that formula is swap. Swap? Exchange. Yes, what do you swap? Simple. Swap the 2 things that are compared. Behram and Deepa. That means Deepa starts the sentence and Behram ends the sentence. Swap the 2 degrees. Only 2 degrees. Superlative is impossible. So older than becomes as old as. When the degree changes, the bodyguard also changes. And finally, swap affirmative and negative. Is will become isn't. And so my answer becomes Deepa isn't as old as Behram. My dear friends, we have done all the 3 bodyguard combos. Bodyguard combo 1, bodyguard combo 2, bodyguard combo 3. I can just tell you one thing, my dear friends. This is the easiest way to solve any degrees of comparison sentence. I'll be back in the next module to perfect these 3 combos. Till then, Keep enjoying with me. See you.